Right.
And then another friend of mine, Alex Sodi, who is in fashion because it's important to have that element in what we're doing, the visual side of it. And Christian knew another young, designer who worked on our postcards and did, artwork design for us. And so it became a collective of people, and by one artist telling another artist, and Christian knowing quite a few artists by writing about them and going to their shows.
Yes.
We now have about 15 artists who are a part of the collective and have been, and it's a very wide, it's an eclectic group of people.
Yes, from what I see here,
from
definitely.
A cappella
group,
Sirens of Shrine, who was on the first show, all the way to Kiki, the Kiki Experience, which is a funk rock young black female artist who's very talented.
Yes.
Maisha, Maya.
Yes.
Boston
Fielder.
Yes, Boston Fielder, Mother Wit.
Yes.
So it's really, the idea is to be supportive, and a lot of times there's artists, as I say, give so much of themselves because what they do, they really have the ability to heal people and society, and also to inspire them and to even possibly enrage them, but bring out feelings.
Yes.
And today, with the difficulties within the music industry, artists are finding it very hard to make a living, and they have always, because it's considered entertainment.
Exactly.
And people don't think of it as job
or a necessary thing.
Yeah, that you need, financial compensation for what it is that you do.
Fooling around. So why should you get paid? You're just being silly. So why don't you do something serious?
I don't think people think that, but it's kind of this unspoken understanding that you are entertainment, and it's not kind of work.
Well, maybe it's too much fun to be work in their minds. Like, why should you get paid to have fun? Yeah. In their minds, it's not something that this is what I know how to do. This is my soul. This is my gut. And yes, it's a blessing to make a living doing what you love to do. But why shouldn't music and art and dance be considered under the umbrella of making a living, a career?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
if a chef cooks and feeds you, and and satisfies you and bring you joy, and you're going to pay in a restaurant for food. When you leave, you get a bill. But with music, it's like, or entertainment, it's
just
kind of like you're there and thank you, that was wonderful.
Right. Bye. Right. Here's a token to go home. Yeah. Basically, not even a token anymore.
And that's really where HopeStock comes in.
Involved.
We wanted to be a collective to try and correct that, so that artists are, they get a small fee for being on it, and also if we can grow it, they can own it.
Yes.
And have something that is theirs, that they're generating income from. Yes. It is not a charity. It is not, it's a business.
Right. That was the question I was going to ask, because I was reading. I was sort of thinking, okay, is it a nonprofit? Is it how does it survive? I mean, because I would imagine it's not the easiest. It must not be a
at
small
the moment
endeavor.
It's surviving on kind of what I can put into it.
Yes. Okay.
And
but you can't do that forever.
No, I can't do that forever.
I mean,
no.
The baby has to start working on its own.
Right. I'd like to do it forever, but I can't. And I think it's also important to not do it forever.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important for the young people who are the sort of the behind the scenes. Support, i.e. Christian, Lindsay, Joe, Alex, Emmy, Grant, who is also doing our online outreach, and the other people who will become involved in the background, that they become entrepreneurs for the future, which is what they're doing in this process.
Okay.
And then the artists who they're doing this for, can generate and understand, that this is a business model,
Yes.
That they can...
Teaching them to fish.
Yeah, that they can earn a living from this. And also the idea of community and working together so that you support each other.
Yes.
Because we've had quite a few years of, the big star playing the stadium on their own, and people paying exorbitant amounts to go and see one person.
Yes.
When, what you need to sustain any organization or anything is the new blood that's coming in.
Yes. And a vehicle for them to be seen. Because, the music industry, what's left of it, not much left of it, but, what I really take umbrage to and over the years is how they dictate, well, we know what the public wants and we're only going to sign this person. And no, the public isn't going to want that. That's not marketable. and you're black, so you can't sing opera, and you're white, so you can't sing gospel, and you're just whatever, just dictating these little tiny boxes, and it's and there's tons of music out there that people want to hear, and they don't want to hear just the same 10 songs just regurgitated day in, day out, and so I think this sounds like a really important thing you're doing,
well, it's
necessary.
Yeah. Well, when I started, that's kind of how it was. It wasn't sort of thought to be, sort of preconceived idea to do it that way. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the shows that we were on, there were just a complete mix of people.
And when you're talking we, you're talking...
the Bluebells.
Okay.
Yes,
I was going to say... I was like, okay, which entity of you?
Yes.
To be honest, I think about this now. Would you even have gotten signed today? Would Earth, Wind & Fire be signed today? The first original? When you think of the...
No. I don't think so. Super talent, but I don't know whether they would have been, if they didn't have the look or the, were making music that was more palatable for everyone. And, the music that a lot of the people from that period of time, from the 60s and 70s, everybody was different. Everybody was making...
Yes. And it wasn't quite as tight and narrow as it is now. No. Definitely not. Yes, the industry had its issues. There are many blues artists and jazz artists that have died without a cent in their pockets. Okay, fine. But still, it seemed to me that there was not such a small image of what you were supposed to do, much more free.
Yes.
Hence the Bluebells, I really can't imagine you being signed today, as you were so innovative, and then evolving into, the most of the stuff you wrote, just this sort of spacey, a lot of times folk, a lot of times rock, a lot of times soul, just no straight category that you could have been put in.
Well, and that was a part of the problem for the group for many years.
Really?
We really lived on our live performance. We didn't have like a lot of hit records, but we were always working, always performing, because we were really good as a live act.
Yes.
And most of the artists from that period, they were all, you had to be good. If you were going to go and play the Apollo Theater, you had to bring it, or the audience would tell you,
right?
You ain't doing certain terms, right? You're not making it. I'm sorry, not that nicely.
Yes.
So that was really the key to our sustaining our careers, and even through the change from the Bluebells to Patti LaBelle and Bluebells to LaBelle.
Yes.
It was about people coming to see us and loving us and loving our music and sustaining us. And that's what part of what I'm trying to, pass on to the artists that are a part of HopeStock, is that, yes, and since the industry has gone to hell in a handbasket in the past few years, that it is how valuable and how important it is to be, a real live performer.
Yes. Yes.
So that you can have a career, not a hit record.
Yes.